All the children were warned not to touch him. The adults threw rocks at him, hosed him down, squirted him when he tried to come into their homes, and would even slam his paws with the door when he wouldn't leave. Today on Aimals My Love, we'll tell you the story about this poor cat. Please relax and listen. Everyone in the apartment complex where I lived knew who Ugly was. Ugly was the resident tomcat. He loved three things in this world: fighting, eating garbage, and shall we say, affection. That's right, Ugly loved to love and to be loved. The combination of these things, along with a life spent outside, had their effect on Ugly. For starters, he only had one eye and a hole in place of where the other should be. He was also missing his ear on the same side. His left foot appeared to have been badly broken at one time and had healed at an unnatural angle, making him look like he was always turning a corner. Ugly would have been a dark gray striped tabby, except for the sores covering his head, neck, and even his shoulders. Every time someone saw Ugly, their reaction was the same. "That's one ugly cat!" All the children were warned not to touch him. The adults threw rocks at him, hosed him down, squirted him when he tried to come into their homes, and would even slam his paws with the door when he wouldn't leave. And Ugly always had the same reaction. If you turned the hose on him, he would stand there, continually getting soaked until you gave up and quit. If you threw things at him, he would curl his lanky body around your feet in forgiveness. Whenever he spied children, he would come running, meowing frantically and nudge his head against their hands, begging for their love. If you picked him up, he would immediately begin suckling on your shirt, earrings, or whatever he could find. One day, Ugly tried sharing his love with the neighbor's huskies. They did not respond kindly, and Ugly was badly mauled. From my apartment, I could hear his screams, and I tried to rush to his aid. By the time I got to where he was laying, it was apparent Ugly's sad life was almost at an end. Ugly laid in a wet circle, his hind legs and lower back twisted grossly out of shape, a gaping tear in the white strip of fur that ran down his front. As I picked him up and tried to carry him home, I could hear him wheezing and gasping, and I could feel him struggling. I must be hurting him terribly, I thought. Then I felt a familiar tugging sensation on my ear. Ugly, in so much pain, suffering, and obviously dying, was trying to suckle my ear. I pulled him closer to me, and he bumped the palm of my hand with his head. Then he turned one golden eye towards me, and I could hear the distinct sound of purring. Even in the greatest pain, that ugly battle-scarred cat was asking for a little affection, perhaps even some compassion. At that moment, I thought Ugly was the most beautiful, loving creature I had ever seen. Never once did he try to bite or scratch me, try to get away from me, or struggle in any way. Ugly just looked up at me, putting his trust completely in me to relieve his pain. Ugly died in my arms before I could get inside, but I sat and held him for a long time afterwards, thinking about how one little scar-ridden deformed stray could alter my views on life so much, to change what it means to have purity of spirit and to love so totally and truly. Ugly taught me more about generosity and compassion than 1,000 books, lectures, or TV programs ever could, and for that I will always be grateful. He may have been scarred on the outside, but so was I on the inside, and it was time for me to move on and learn to truly and deeply love, to give myself entirely to those I cared for. Many people want to be wealthier, more successful, well-liked, or beautiful. Me, on the other hand, I'll always try to be ugly. Every 60 seconds, an animal gets abused. That's unconscionable, especially in our advanced culture, but animal cruelty continues to occur all over the world. It can take many forms, as you'll soon discover, but the impact is always the same. A sentient animal capable of love and creating social relationships experiences pain, fear, and desperation, and it needs to stop. Animals are special and deserve to be treated like equals. Animals have all kinds of unique needs and must have people to do it for them. When we save an animal and learn to love it and live with it, we are not just keeping another animal alive. We demonstrate an act of compassion, kindness, and inspiration for our children and our children's children. Animals can be some of our best friends. They can be loyal to us, serve us, and love us. More importantly, they will die defending us. Cats were just becoming a prized household member of the elite, but they had been bullied for centuries. Perhaps the most disturbing aspect of this history is how the continuing abuse of cats today can be traced back so many ages ago. Studies show cats are abused at a higher rate than dogs or other domestic animals in almost every category of abuse, whether it be beating, throwing, mutilation, or even drowning. There's a misconception about cats not showing love to their owners, whereas dogs are very affectionate, demonstrating this love in various ways. But cats do actually show love and affection to their humans. Cats love their owners and show their affection in many different ways, just like dogs. Returning that love to your faithful feline will make you a true cat lover. Additionally, the amount of love that I've dedicated to pets have been reciprocated tenfold, accompanied by the unique friendship and loyalty that is only available in animals. Spending time with animals has transformed me into a better person and taught me valuable lessons that I will never forget. I am inherently an animal lover, and nothing will ever change that. Don't treat us like animals. Treat us like a friend. That's who we are. That's what I'd like to think all animals would like to say. And if you have the same idea, please give me a comment. Let Aimals My Love spread this goodwill with the whole world. We would really appreciate more animal stories that move us. So if you have any, please send it in at animalsmylove999@gmail.com. Thank you so much for hearing our story. Goodbye, and see you next time.